Keep him special, look Sepik, look Prime Minister. Give him wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You too, you give him the opposition leader. Stop wanting me all get tetes, me go inside law. This pla hour blow, meeting blow me pla, and pray me pla ask him lo name blow you. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy king.
For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament that the Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Broadcasting of Parliamentary Proceedings met today and resolved that the National Broadcasting Corporation, NBC, television and radio will be allowed to broadcast and telecast live the coverage for the whole Parliament proceedings as part of its community service obligation to citizens and stakeholders, and is also extended to other television and radio stations if they wish to cover the proceedings for the news purposes for the duration of this meeting. Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament that I have, in accordance with Section 110 of the Constitution, certified 4 acts made by the National Parliament. A list of these acts will appear in today's minutes of proceedings. Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament of the deaths of A. Sir Silas Atopare, GCMG, Knight of St. John, on 22nd September 2021, a former member for Goroka Open Electorate in the 2nd National Parliament from 1977 to 1982. He served as Minister for Works from 1981 to 1982, and also served a term as the 7th Governor General of the independent state of Papua New Guinea from 28 November 1997. B. Sir Peter Luce, OBE, Knight, on 1st October 2021, a former member for the Drakiki Wasara Open Electorate in the 1st House of Assembly from 1963 to 1968, elected to the 2nd House of Assembly for the Marape Open Electorate from 1968 to 1972, re-elected to the 3rd House of Assembly, 1st National Parliament from 1972 to 1977, 2nd National Parliament from 1977 to 1982, 3rd National Parliament from 1982 to 1987, 4th National Parliament from 1987 to 1992, 5th National Parliament from 1992 to 1997, and 6th National Parliament from 1997 to 2002. He served as Minister for State from 1973 to 1975, Minister for Police from 1975 to 1976, Minister for Correctional Services and Liquor Licensing from June 1976 to August 1977, Minister for Commerce from August 1977 to November 1978, Minister for Commerce and Industry from November 1978 to January 1980, Minister for Works and Supply from January to March 1980, Minister for Administrative Services from 1982 to 1985. Shadow Minister for Transport and Works in August 1982. Minister for State from July to December 1997. Minister for Transport in July 1999. He also served as Chairman of the Law and Order Committee, member of Privileges and Public Accounts Committees in July 1988, member of the Standing Orders and Public Accounts Committee in March 1998, and Assistant Speaker from July 1998. As a mark of respect to the memory of the late honorable gentleman, I invite all members to rise in their places. I thank the Parliament. Notices.
To amend the Constitution by making provisions for recognition of the Constitutional Law Reform Commission and for related purposes. The Minister for Justice gives notice that he shall present a proposed law to amend the Constitution to declare Papua New Guinea as a Christian country and other related purposes. The Minister for Justice gives notice that he shall present a bill for an act to establish a legal framework for the use of electronic transactions for commercial and non-commercial purposes.
Questions without notice, 45 minutes. The Honourable Member for Pomio.
Thank you, true, Mr. Speaker. Question from Golong, Minister of Health. Look, bien increase the COVID cases the country in Papua New Guinea. Mele kasi sa question today long Minister of Health. Today, lots la total number of cases as reported today. Lo all some 23,000 cases now. Established the country blowing the side of COVID. Now lot is la 245 flawani die lo country blowing. Naimi salim big talk sorry blowing go online. Only die los la sick. Na families blown all. Question blowing molsem. Firstly, Mr. Speaker, outlaws at 245 la die. Amasla all sla die and all fully vaccinated. Now only still diet. Na amasla only kissing vaccine or then only die. Second question, I'm also Lolsla only admit to the hospitals. Those ones who are very severe at the moment. How many of those are fully vaccinated? Only vaccine business only admit longen. Now start only no vaccine. Only some COVID vaccine now only start to housing. Third question, what is the commonest transmission now come up? Commonest transmission today come up the communities, all schools, all hospitals. Come up the common transmission today. Where is it happening? In the workplace? Do we have statistics to support this transmission? So that you can toggle some vaccine at time. Fourth, when I'm playing the government now, lost time, lost support him work long, search or increasing number of COVID lo country blow yemi, lost support him online where you look him people sick today, also in other provinces, also in Eastern Highlands province, the supply of oxygen, ventilators, now especially the side long management of dead bodies. It's becoming very alarming at the moment. Now, when him plan by government to support him, all line way all go to the situation today. Now, last question, I'm also he got treatment. Is there any treatment apart from a vaccination where Imiklung are trying to make it compulsory today? He got not a treatment plan or no got. WHO come out on a plan. Lo give him not ball marasin 2 or Imiklung depend on vaccine tasol, COVID vaccine tasol to prevent him. What about the treatment for COVID in our country? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the good member for Pomio for the series of questions. I didn't get all of the questions done, but I'll answer some of them. The community transmission that's happening right now is due to huge gatherings within our country, and we have the evidence that after the funeral of Sir Michael Thomas Amare, the spikes went up. After the gatherings in Goroka, the spikes went up. So we have evidence that the community transmission is done when there's huge gatherings. The second question is, one of the questions is about the treatment. There is no treatment for the COVID-19 Delta variant. The only thing we have, and these are from the experts within our country as well as outside our country, the only thing we can do is isolate from other people so that the virus doesn't spread, and we have oxygen on standby when people have respiratory problems. There is 2 types of medicine that are on the market at the moment. One is the ivermectin, but it hasn't been proven, so we have not been giving that out to people. There is another pill that is been cleared by Australia. In the next couple of weeks, we should get evidence from the TGA and WHO whether it is the right medicine to give to our people. I take this time to take the honourable members' questions, and I can answer them properly tomorrow in the next session. Thank you.
Honourable Member of the North Fly.
So before me proceed, the opposition bench me talk welcome long sitting lot today avin lo yublo land upset. Question blo me la ask Minister of Petroleum tasol emino come emino simsia. A minister should be here all the time, but me direct him go to Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I have a series of questions that I would direct them to the Prime Minister in regards to Piniang gas field and the ongoing negotiations with the ExxonMobil for the development of the particular gas field. Mr. Speaker, the Piniang gas field is located in my province, Western Province, and more specifically, it's located in North Fly. The Honourable Prime Minister and the Minister are fully aware of our concerns, which are well documented, and I think they have all the answers. Mr. Speaker, I am compelled to raise this series of questions because of the failure of the government and the Minister of Petroleum, or Ministry of Petroleum, to address these concerns. There are about 13 series of questions, and the first one: can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that Piniang PRL3 or Petroleum Retention License number 3 has expired 5 years ago? Second question: can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that ExxonMobil has failed to develop the gas field despite holding the license for 15 years? Question number 3: can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that the APDL application to Petroleum Development License was lodged in haste, has failed all the prerequisites technically, and commercial tests under the Oil and Gas Act? Can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that 18 months extension was given after it expired and they failed to uphold or meet the requirements, and there were 9 prerequisites, they only met the 4, and 5 they failed to comply. Question number 5. Can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that given the APDL by ExxonMobil failed to meet the technical and commercial requirements under Section 57, subsection 9 of the Oil and Gas Act, therefore rendered the APDL invalid? Question number 6. Can the Prime Minister explain to my people of Western Province and PNG why the Ministry through the Petroleum Advisory Board or PAB have delayed in making decision in accordance with the Oil and Gas Act for 2 years? They haven't arrived to a decision for the last 2 years. Number 7, can the Minister confirm or deny, the Prime Minister, the delay by PAB is serious breach of the Oil and Gas Act, Olbruki law or not? Number 8, can the Minister confirm or deny the delay by PAB is a deliberate plot to preserve ExxonMobil's interest at the expense of our people? Number 9, can the Prime Minister explain to the people of Western Province and PNG what was the legal basis for recent negotiation with ExxonMobil? What the legal basis blow time license of Asante expire? Given their PRL3 expired 5 years ago in accordance with the law. Number 10, can the Prime Minister confirm or deny that recently signed heads of agreement between the government and ExxonMobil in Houston in USA is illegal? Number 11, can the Prime Minister explain to the people of Western Province why they were not consulted or even invited for Houston negotiation? In this instance, I was not invited and my members of the Western Province. Number 12, can the Minister explain or the Prime Minister explain why the same people who were directly involved in the PNG LNG project, which failed this country, were heavily involved in the PNG gas project discussion? Would it be a coincidence?
We have a point of order. What is your point of order, Minister?
Speaker, without apologizing for interjecting, but I think the statement made specifically to say that the PNG LNG has failed PNG is in fact an incorrect statement. So just making on that point, while he makes statements that they have to be factually correct, the PNG LNG project has been a success. We are earning revenues. The gas price did plummet, so it didn't meet the expectations when the gas price was $103. But to state in this Parliament that it is a failed project, I think is factually incorrect, and he should retract on that statement. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, point of order, me rule me out of order. Because I no make him statement, I will ask him question. Prime Minister by respond to this line, I talk with me this last statement is true and not true. So you me lare ma honourable member, you ask him question, please.
Thank you.
You me got another point of order, Ken? What's your point of order, Governor?
Inablo, sit down, Pastemo, me ask him.
Sit down, Harem. Mr. Speaker, me na Minister Kua, me golo this trip. Long time PNG LNG negotiations, the kirap na finalize. Me no part of this negotiations. Minister Kua no part of this negotiations. Standing over si tokol sem, you no can cast him as patients to a NARPLA member. Because in fact, now you talk, now you ask him question of fact. Me ask him through you, Mr. Speaker, Minister or member blow, not fly Amy, rouse him this last patience. He come, lo me one time, member belong, SSY na Minister of Petroleum. One time, Minister of Justice when me play go na working agreement for the independent state of Papua New Guinea. Thank you.
Honorable Governor, Mbami Rulol Sam, Siabai Rulol Sam, Honorable Member of the North Fly, I mean no mention him one name, so me no harem clear, but me no harem me mention him name, lom man or this negotiation or title or this plan no got. He is asking a general question, so you milare me asking a Prime Minister by beg him this plan, I'll ask him one. All member.
Thank you, Speaker. Me come the last question, but before me throw me the last, I know where the governor is coming because Governor Blogarf and Migolo this trip.
Honorable.
That's what he's asking.
Honorable.
Me but come the question.
Open member of the North Fly. You go straight and ask him.
Thank you.
Ask him later.
Thank you, Speaker. Last question. Can the Prime Minister explain and provide in full details of the heads of the agreement? Only sign him law USA. Asking Blomi Kamosem, Mr. Speaker, I would like the Prime Minister to fully explain everything and tell the people of Western Province of Papua New Guinea the outcome na status blow display heads of agreement. Now suppose you may be broken law blow country, interest blow who said you may walk behind him. Thank you, through Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Person through me like looks out like you yet long, Sinan Losia long, making sure meeting blue me run good. Mr. Speaker, me like Beckham good luck question come from member long not fly. I think as leader elected by the people blow area where resources slip. I mean no wrong law ask him this question, so you may clear law when may take place. And me talk, thank you, Lord, brother, member of parliament, Lord, ask him this important question. Me like, give him, ask him, write him a question in maybe long blood, 13 blood, good blood question that is, that deserves an appropriate response proper. So me give him assurance with the petroleum minister or me in this sitting of parliament will make a detailed response to in Parliament, so people belong Western Province, people belong North Fly District, people belong also big area where resources slip, people belong country clear along this plan. Heads of agreement we play with him, one time ExxonMobil, long Houston, one of something but take place long Pinang after, as well as including some or point they making whether process lo you mean as far as PRL 3 me concern whether me set up long legal basis or stable legal basis, but APDL process you mean only me all Department of Petroleum, especially Petroleum Advisory Board in up running me all working good or working good. Extension 18 moon me ask him me in order or in order. ExxonMobil hold him this PRL license for 15 years, I mean, in order or in order. All this good question and making me like, back receiving right back and back in this week sitting so that people of the Western they can kiss him good full meaning one of take place. But be like summarizing quickly, Mr. Speaker, if you don't mind, before me sit down. Heads of agreement me play sign him Houston. Long talk out clear also. Display resource here, me setting framework, guide him. Me move into proper gas agreement. One time, ExxonMobil as developer. The display, disqualifying Department of Petroleum as lead department, long behind him all law, stop inside Oil and Gas Act, as well as all the law of the country. Long me go sign him gas agreement. Now me go long work one time all investor partner long get up him Pinang resource me. For the benefit of the country, Pinang am seen on north, west, long Muruk resource, now come down long Jua Heights, he come down on Semlo PNG LNG, come down, Kamolkata, come down, Damblo and Papua LNG slip. Time we Kisim government long 2019 May 30. My first statement, me make on Tok. Also, Pinyang resource, in on a pass on the Papua LNG na to move one time. Because at the time, Papua LNG signing finish, underneath the government before, and me like pulling one time Pinyang LNG. Long tail blocken na to by go one time, the same time. Suppose you read him handset, lo talk to me on 30th of May, me make him talk, me talk. Pinyang am different from Papua LNG. So, the Honorable Member of Long not fly, me give him you barely see or some. One am stop lo ting blow you long, kissy more long. People blow you long, antap long not fly, or people blame me lo western, lo country. And me same thing driving me long go lo display. You me carry him resource. The resource that we have today, if you would have seen the contemporary conversation today, globally today, is on cleaner energy now. As we have seen, coal 10 years ago when we were signing PNG LNG project, or a little over 10 years ago, today the focus on earth is moving towards clean energy. In fact, at the cabinet today we just signed a proposed template to work with Fortescue future industries on clean energy again to be sourced from our country. That's absolutely frightening pace in which how the world is moving towards clean energy. 10 years from today, our guests up there in the mountains of North Fly and mountains of Papua New Guinea may be redundant if we do not engage in a planned harvest of these resources. Mila giving Belly Long member of some this is heads of agreement and public document now. But we will move towards what is formally recognized inside Long Gas, Oil and Gas Act, or some gas agreement. Gas agreement, but expand beyond heads of agreement. For a summary, one of people holding understanding, one time ExxonMobil Long Houston, state by kissing up to 63% of total project economic benefits from Pinyang. PNG LNG, sit down on 49%. Papua LNG, sit down on 51%. Me like give him big talk, thank you, Lord Governor Haiveta, and we lead him. Also, special envoy Blumi go pass. Tete, Lord display, all talk, and me play make him national government function. As me play go towards gas agreement, by got time, lo call him province, na call him land on account. Na babla sidana talk, Lord display something. And by come up, public exercise work or some people working lo PNG LNG. But me yet, me clear long level me stop finish, me kissing long PNG LNG. Government blow, me blah, lo talk long, taking back more resource benefit come lo country. Them agenda me drive him long, Pogra. Agenda me drive him long, Pinyang. Agenda me drive him long all DY projects, me. Now got something. So me like giving belly see long. Lead up long, people will not fly. Lo time block consulting you underneath long this big headline, me play working finish, time me play go gas agreement. Babla call him you, na call him leader of Western Province, na call him all people long Pinyang resource. Also 1 mm you like kissing. Now part of this heads of agreement we play signing, 10% at cost. Maybe like talk now me talk thank you also long ExxonMobil. Only understanding dynamics at play. Now, one I'm thinking blow leadership long, kissing back more blow country. 10% am subject to process long talk to one them all Papa ground, Western Provincial Government. 10% me blah agree in principle. Quarantine long Western Province Government and our people of the resource only look at him or resource tab long. So ExxonMobil is willing and indicate long parting way. Long 10% of equity lo share logan. Me also, Mr. Speaker, me sanabim talk. Me clear timing go lab me no go nothing. Me pick him timing. He associate long not blah activity or movement and take place long ownership long Pinyang as well as PNG LNG na oil and gas sector, where oil sets and Santos to play like work boom one time. Mr. Nabim talk long ExxonMobil headquarters. In the event that Sabu Santos na oil sets to offload him some stake long all, long Pinyang or long PNG LNG, but national interest take precedent. Exxon Inogen Mangalgen, Total Inogen Mangalgen or other players, and Kumul na Papanin interest but take precedent lo display talk na. All industry lo you meet only clear. Mibla na nubla government 2 years now, mindset blimble lo kissing back more come lo country only clear. So me talk hamas or some ExxonMobil and respond in the positive. Na this law work boom one time Santos na oil sets will come up to play indicating was some positive, suppose some offload but take place. Then Kumul and PNG beneficiaries I got first right of refusal time people are going to Alcada display or something. So Mila giving Belly so long, member, you got right to ask him all this question. Sambla all final details, time people go through proper process. After heads of agreement, we will now advance into a proper process from gas agreement they come up, which is sanctioned by law. Of that, landowners and provincial government and district himself will all sit with the petroleum minister in the process as we go through. But the issue where we point him in the legal compliance long past time hold up long PRL 3 in ExxonMobil and our partners, whether only comply and exist within law, as me Sinan Mila give assurance to them, petroleum department will go, look through these issues and respond to the leader in this session of, sitting of Parliament. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Governor of West New Britain.
Mr. Speaker, me like asking question me golo, Honorable Health Minister. Mr. Speaker, me like asking Health Minister lo taksavelo Parliament people me lo one status blow this la Kimbe Provincial Hospital. And thank you, lo Prime Minister. I may come give him assurance now him groundbreaking, but people like Haiveta solution one time through me by approving this la hospital project inside lo cabinet. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, and I thank the good regional member for Western Britain for his question. The Governor of Western Britain for his question. The Western Britain Provincial Hospital has gone to Cabinet already for clearance. It's now going to Treasury for its process through Treasury, and then once that comes back to Cabinet, we will approve. It should come back in the next week or so. The process is quite long. We have things that we're doing at the moment, so I want to tell the Governor of Western Britain and the people of Western Britain that we have it in check and we should have it out in the next 2 weeks. Thank you.
Honourable Governor of Eastern Highlands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question, without notice, is also directed to the Health Minister and for the Prime Minister and Police Minister to take note. Before I proceed with the question, my province, Eastern Highlands province, is hit hard by COVID-19 or Delta variant. The total admission by way of report in Eastern Highlands is 215. Within the month of 7th September to 10th October of this year, and the discharge is 113. Current patients at the moment 76. And death from admission 42. Death before arrival 31. And total number of deaths, that's a reported case, reported deaths is 73. That's within the month of 7th September to 10th of October. Mr. Speaker, the characteristics of this COVID-19 is totally different and aggressive. The 73 figure that I mentioned is a reported case. But I've been receiving a lot of phone calls that the young people are falling and dying everywhere on streets. And we have a critical situation at the moment. My biggest question is this, Mr. Speaker. How did Delta variant hit Eastern Highlands? I don't know how I'm coming settle province problem. It's within the month of September, just weeks before September 16 celebration or Goroka show. Within this month, a week before that, we were hit out by this COVID-19. Mr. Speaker, I will go to my questions, but the biggest issue we are facing, or problem we are facing now, is how the medical situation will be handled in my province, and how we will handle the attitude of the people of mass gathering and our lifestyle that leads to quick spread of COVID. My question is this. Number one, who is responsible for issuing of measures to stop transmission of COVID under the Pandemic Act? And who is responsible for the enforcement of those measures? We've seen, Mr. Speaker, we've seen measures coming out by way of papers, but the enforcement part of it were lacking. And I want to know from the minister, at the provincial level and district level, who is responsible for the enforcement of protocols and measures of COVID-19 in the country? Because I see none in my province. Are those measures properly enforced, or is it centralized in Waigani? My second question, is there any insurance for the frontliners? Does this government have any insurance for the frontliners, that is the health workers who are handling the patients, COVID patients, as well as handling the dead bodies, and the police on the ground enforcing the measures? Because we lost 3 health workers, Mr. Speaker, and 2 police officers in the province. Number 3 question. Is there any funding available for the rollout of vaccines? If yes, who is responsible for the release of those funds to support the province? If no funding for rollout of vaccines, is there any strategies in place to roll out the vaccines? Because I know there's a lot of challenges we will face as we want to roll out vaccines in the country. What are the strategies? My last question. Given the situation in Goroka, the provincial controller has put the measures in place, and to put forward the police as well as the doctors to carry out, doctors or the health workers to carry out those measures, there is a shortage of funds. The provincial government provides only 1.4 million, but we will need more than that to be rolled out in the province. Do you have any plans for Eastern Highlands province Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I have signed a provincial plan in the month of August for COVID plan and presented to the NDOH for the minister to take it up. I don't know the status of the plans and the fundings that is requested for us to prepare. Can you give us account of the latest update on the provincial COVID plan that we gave the month of August? Before I sit down, Mr. Speaker, we have leadership problem in the Provincial Health Authority, and I've been asking about this issue on the chairman of the Provincial Health Authority and the illegal directors of the Provincial Health Authority, and it's quite 1.5 years now. I've brought this issue up many times. Many recommendations has been asked, and I've given many recommendations. To this date, I don't know the status. We're lacking leadership or authority in the Provincial Health Authority. Can you give us the update on the replacement of the chairman of the Eastern Highlands Provincial Health Authority? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the good governor of Eastern Highlands Province for his questions. Before I go into his questions, on behalf of our government and our people, I want to send my deepest condolences to the victims of the COVID-19 in all provinces, especially in Eastern Highlands provinces where it's been hit really hard. Number one, the first question about the measures. The measures formulated through a committee at the NCC, which includes MISAC, which is our brother scientists and our policy people, and then it's brought to the controller of the pandemic, the Commissioner of Police, and he signs off on it, and then it's sent to the provincial controller to implement the measures within the province, and they have to partner with the Eastern Britain, with the provincial governments to ensure that the measures are adhered to. There is a search team that's going into Eastern Highlands to help with the COVID. This COVID Delta variant, as I said before, there's no cure for it. And one of the things that we have to realize is we need time. It needs time to get out of your system. It takes about 14 days to 21 days. And this is from our leading experts. It won't happen overnight. So we need people to isolate themselves. We need people to, if they need oxygen, we provide the oxygen and that. But the gist of it all is, in this whole world, we do not have a cure for the COVID. As I said, it's about time. One of the questions, question number 3, the vaccination rollout is being funded by our government as well as our foreign partners. In the last 2 weeks, the vaccine rollout has quadrupled in numbers. So a lot of our people now seeing the importance of being vaccinated are turning up at vaccination points to get vaccinated. This is one of the things that will help slow down the variant of the virus from moving and putting people into hospitals is the vaccine. This has been proven overseas that the vaccine has provided some safety for people that have underlying issues or people that are of old age. And Mr. Speaker, we can tell from our numbers that a lot of people that are vaccinated are being saved from going into the hospitals. Yes, we may have 1 or 2, but not everybody's DNA is the same. We all have different DNAs, and medicine affects all different types of people. Even the same someone could be allergic to amoxicillin. It could cause us a lot of problems. So, as I said as an example, not everybody has the same DNA, and we cannot ensure that the vaccine will work for everybody. With the funding through to the provinces, up to date now, the government has given the grants to PHAs, but in this time where emergency is really at what we really need at this point of time, I had a meeting with the Treasury last week, and they are ensuring that funds will be sent to the provinces. With the PHA of our Eastern Highlands province, last week the NEC passed for the new chairman to take his place, and last week I heard that the chairman was on the ground already trying to help solve the situation in the Eastern Highlands province. With that, thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let me get supplementary. Honourable Opposition Leader, supplementary.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker. My supplementary is this. The Health Minister, in his response to the Governor for Eastern Islands, mentioned about gas. And I've read from the newspapers, there's been shortage of gas or oxygen. Shortage of oxygen in Eastern Islands and also in most of the hospitals throughout the country. And also the beds are overcrowded. My supplementary is this, Mr. Speaker. What have you done as the Health Minister to prepare the country for such situation? Where have all the COVID funds gone to? And why are all the hospitals in our provincial hospitals throughout the country and even in the city in Port Moresby is overcrowded? What have you done with those funds? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the good opposition leader for his questions. I forgot to mention that last year this government gave 2 million to each district to prepare themselves for COVID-19. To prepare themselves. Yeah, you want me to answer the question, or are you going to keep going?
We have a point of order. Obviously, what's your point of order?
That similar response was done by your Prime Minister, and I've proven that there was no 2 million for the hospitals. You are misleading the Parliament. Where is all the COVID funds for the hospitals? Answer the question.
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if he lets me finish, all funds through the Health Department go through the PHS. So the 2 million has been given to, all the money has been given to PHS to ensure that they are ready for this COVID. The oxygen problem that the good opposition leader said that we were missing is wrong. We weren't missing. We have bills that accumulated since 2009 to the company that supplies us oxygen. And all to this time, we never paid anything. Until last week, when our Treasury paid 14 million to ensure that the oxygen is released for our people. So now that we are getting oxygen to all our areas. But this is a legacy issue that has plagued our health system.
Hello, opposition leader. Let me, until I recognize the point of order, but you talk. Now we recognize the point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's forget about legacy issues. We've had 6.7 billion in COVID funds. What have you done as the Health Minister?
Let me address this point of order first, then we'll come to your point of order, Honourable Governor. Opposition Leader, point of order, I'm out of order. He's answering a question. I'm going to answer him straight. So, Honourable Minister, you wait past him. Honourable Governor, one point of order,
Mr. Speaker, the
presentation on the floor of this House. Now, me like cautioning all members of Parliament, there's a lot of misinformation on this floor, Mr. Speaker, and you have to rule. There was no 6 billion for COVID-19. Mipla olgara sidan lo here, Treasurer giving Mipla desla report, na inside of desla report, emitok 501 million. Why are we allowing members of Parliament to tell lies on the floor? And then our people who are watching, Mr. Speaker, they pick up these lies and they spread these lies. We should read the reports that are presented, and I would ask the good member for Vanimo Green, my brother, to withdraw that statement. We approved on this floor in November last year to borrow 5.7 billion for the entire budget. Out of that borrowing, 501 million went specifically for COVID actions in the districts, in the provinces, in the health centers, at the PHAs and at POM General. The same part of that funding went to support police and many other agencies. Mr. Speaker, we were given this report on this floor. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Governor. Let me rule on his point of order first. So let me give him talk long along this law. All honorable members, I think more better you may like ask him question and you may like make him statement. You must talk him all facts. Talk him trouble talk, no display. So me allow him, Honorable Minister, to finish him, back him all display, ask him.
Mr. Speaker, if the good opposition leader was in Parliament at the time, we've given 4 different audit reports here. I've given 4 audit reports at 4 different Parliament sessions, and it's been well documented of everything that we spent through the COVID time. We also got 4 million given to each PHA for them to spend. If he had time, he can go down to his Vanimo PHA and sit down with them and find out what they're spending on. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Governor of Northern Province.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question below me, me director below Minister of Police. Questions without notice. And me like him, Prime Minister, no take note. Minister of Forestry, no stop, but then take note. The Minister of Justice too, by good law. Minister for Police, through you, Mr. Speaker, on October the 7th, 2021, there was a report released by an NGO named as Global Witness. The report was in regards to oil palm companies operating in Papua New Guinea, specifically in the East New Britain province. And in that report, there was an investigation, an undercover investigation, which exposed a number of individuals who made admissions on camera that they had committed serious criminal offenses of bribery of public servants, of a member of parliament, and that they had also engaged the police force in acts of brutality against citizens who had raised concerns. My questions are these, Mr. Minister, through you, Mr. Speaker. Is the Minister aware of this report? What actions will the Minister take in regards to these very serious allegations that are basically admissions of crimes by various individuals who are identified in that report? And what actions will be taken to investigate the claims of police brutality against citizens who raise concerns in regards to this particular, or the issues raised in this particular report? Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Police.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For a question to Governor Blow, Northern Province, Soro. Mr. Speaker, I'm equally frustrated about that report. I've seen that video, and over a bar, some reporters have came in with hidden cameras and have interviewed our drunkards, landowners, or some people in the management, or they've been picking up this report and doing something which really portrayed the bad image of Papua New Guinea. And I was really frustrated about that, and I flagged the commission on that one. And I've talked to him about that one. We will definitely look into that one because we are not a cowboy country. We have laws. And if we want to do section investigations, or you want to do everything, you have to come to our office too. I was also questioning the report. I did the report. Sometimes they, dilute the facts and put other things in to make it worse. But for me, especially as the police minister, I was not really happy with that report, that video that I've seen on the YouTube. So I've already reflected the commissioner to look at it. So once the report is up, I'll let you know, the governor. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, question time. Fobla 10-5 minutes, and we can finish also. Honorable Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Parliament now be adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, Parliament now is adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.